no monster crowned who is as lovable
as ever-loving Hulk. Hulk.
Hey ladies and gentlemen, Richard Core Kenobi here, and I am back again for another Death Battle reaction, and today we have Hulk versus Doomsday. Now, you've all been waiting for this, and so have I. Oh boy, now we're gonna finally put this to rest, and yes, and the election is not the only thing that is going on right now, so if you guys are prepared, let's go ahead and get into this. Now then, who am I going for? I've had weeks upon weeks. And as I said in my prediction video, this could be the closest matchup. In fact, Screw Attack said this is by far their closest matchup. So this is going to be like Link versus Cloud. And of course, I've talked to my Nerdbender colleagues. We are all very split. But at the end of the day, it was very hard. I didn't, and bear in mind, I didn't tell them who I was going for. So as soon as you all see this and they see it, they're going to be shocked. But, okay, I'm going... I'm kidding. I'm going for Doomsday. Now, hold on, because of his adaptability and because of his regeneration, the fact that he's kind of immortal, and bear in mind, guys, if you saw Cartoon Fight Club's version, then, like I said, there is a scenario where Doomsday can win. So, yes, that's who I'm going with. And I know you all are going to have your own opinions. That's fine. Don't dislike that button just because I went for Doomsday or I quote-unquote hate Marvel, because no, I don't hate Marvel. What's wrong with you? So, yes, I still love the Hulk, but unfortunately, I just think Doomsday is going to win. And bear in mind, by the time you're seeing this, it is Tuesday because Death Battle... Screw Attack had problems getting this fight rendered, so it took them literally a day and a half, or I guess 2.5 days to get this up on Rooster Teeth. So by the time you're seeing this, just notice that it's not daytime, it's currently nighttime for me. So by the time you see this, it's already up, and yes, and before I do that, if you saw that reaction, yes, bet you didn't know that the Hulk 60s jingle was that, did you? Yeah, lovable Hulk. Oh my god, what were they thinking? The Hulk looked terrifying in that, didn't he? So, yeah, let's see if I can be wrong, or if maybe I'm off to creating a new streak. We don't know. So, yes, without further ado, let's go ahead and watch Death Battle, the lovable Hulk versus Doomsday. Let's do this.
Pure, unadulterated rage.
Yep.
Usually, in a stressful situation, you'd want to avoid this sort of emotion in order to keep yourself focused.
Yes.
Unless you're a giant rampaging pile of muscles, like these two.
Dr. Bruce Banner, the Incredible Hulk.
Woo! And Doomsday, the monster who killed Superman.
Yes.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomsday.
Right.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win
A death battle. Oh god, here we go.
Within each of us, oft-times, there dwells a mighty and raging fury. And this suits no one better than the mild-mannered scientist, Bruce Banner.
Cause when Bruce gets angry, oh boy, you wouldn't like him when he's angry.
Dr. Robert Bruce Banner may have grown up with few friends, but what he lacked in popularity, he made up tenfold with his intellect. However, in spite of his gifts, it was never enough to earn the respect and love of his father.
Partly because Bruce was so smart that his alcoholic dad literally thought he was a monster and expressed that to Bruce pretty thoroughly. God damn! How much distance do you think he got there, Wiz?
9, 10 feet?
Man, with an arm like that, he could really go places. Like the nut house after he murdered his wife right in front of Bruce.
Aw. Understandably traumatized, Bruce coped by creating an imaginary friend to talk to.
You know, I had an imaginary friend once.
You did? What was his name?
Dad.
Oh. Well, Bruce's friend served as an emotional outlet all the way through his college graduation. However, his advice to Bruce was oftentimes destructive.
So when the U.S. military recruited Bruce to make weapons, it was actually kind of fitting.
Bruce was tasked with developing a gamma bomb, which would use gamma radiation to target enemy weapons and buildings without endangering human lives. At least, that's what Bruce was told.
Surprise, surprise! Gamma radiation is actually pretty fucking harmful! And when it came time to test the bomb and some dumb kid decided to play his harmonica right in the test zone, Bruce asked his assistant to stop the countdown and dashed off to save him. But turns out his assistant was a Russian spy who set off the bomb anyway.
Yep.
On that strange day, Bruce's imaginary friend became a real-life terror as he transformed into the
Incredible Hulk.
Really?
Yes, apparently. Ever since, whenever he's angry, Bruce's body and mind morphs into that of the Hulk's, granting him unmeasurable power.
While he loses Bruce's brain power, the Hulk is ridiculously strong.
Yes.
He can leap great distances, survive the harshest environments, and most importantly, smash the crap out of everything with his bare fists.
He also knows a technique known as the
Thunderclap,
which creates a shockwave that can deafen foes, level forests, and push back explosions.
As if he needed anything more than that, the Hulk has a healing factor that gives Wolverines a run for his money.
Yep.
You're healing. You should be dead.
He's super strong and super hard to kill. What's not to like?
Well, there's one little detail that kind of ruins the whole experience. Bruce can't really control the Hulk.
No.
In fact, the Hulk is his own being, and they both hate each other, vying for dominance over Bruce's body.
Yeah.
And yet, Bruce and the Hulk are often reminded how much they depend on each other for survival.
Bruce figured if he was stuck with his big green Goliath forever, he might as well try using it for good, eventually joining the Avengers, Defenders, the Fantastic Four, and even the Illuminati.
Hulk has held up a 150 billion ton mountain, escaped Earth's gravitational pull with a single jump.
Yep.
And one time when a planet's tectonic plates started splitting apart, threatening to shatter the whole world, he just jumped right in there and pulled the planet back together.
The
Yes.
estimated average mass of a single atmospheric plate is nearly 45 quintillion tons, and the Hulk pulled two of these together with nothing but his bare hands.
Yeah.
And he's not just strong and tough, he's more than twice as fast as a fighter jet, which puts him over Mach 5 speeds at least, and he can always go faster if he's pissed off enough.
This is because the Savage Hulk's strength is directly related to his anger. The angrier he gets, the more powerful he becomes. In theory, this means his maximum level of strength is potentially infinite.
Yep.
And when he taps into that immeasurable rage to the fullest, he truly lives up to his name of Worldbreaker.
Bigger, stronger, and oozing with gamma radiation, the Worldbreaker Hulk is so powerful, with a single stomp he created earthquakes felt hundreds of miles away. In his battle with Sentry, basically Marvel Superman, they almost destroyed New York.
Yeah.
And when battling another Worldbreaker Hulk, a single collision between them obliterated an entire planet.
Even the mutant Darwin's power, which specifically adapts to counter any enemy, decided that the best defense against the Hulk was to be somewhere else.
Holy hell! Who could even stand up to this madness?
Not many, obviously. Typically, Bruce does his best to contain and limit the Hulk's power. In fact, Worldbreaker Hulk is a result of Bruce relinquishing that control entirely. In terms of combat, usually only cosmic beings like Silver Surfer or Zeus have the might to challenge the Hulk.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like that one time Zeus hit him so hard it broke out his healing factor.
But even gods sometimes have to learn the hard way.
Here it
You
comes.
do not mess with the Incredible Hulk.
No.
I am a god, you dull creature, and I will not be bullied by that.
Puny God.
Puny god.
Awesome.
What
Oh,
if all
boy.
you had ever known was hatred and aggression, violence and pain? This life is reality for
YouTube comment! Doomsday! Yeah. Doomsday guy.
Yep.
Thousands of years ago, on an uninhabitable prehistoric planet which would one day be known as Krypton, a scientist named Bertron intended to engineer the ultimate life form.
Yep, it's another one of those stories, but with one hell of a twist.
See, at this time, Krypton was a harsh wasteland filled with nothing but sharp rocks, poisonous air, and violent predators.
Yeah.
Bertrand believed that if he could create something that could live through that, they could survive just about anywhere.
To realize this theory, Bertrand acquired an infant from somewhere, and through a rapidly accelerated evolution process, attempted to transform him into his dream creation.
Oh, don't try to dance around it, Wiz. Bertrand put that little sucker into a baby cannon, blasted him into the wild to get murdered by any number of things, sucked up what was left of him with a vacuum cleaner, and just cloned a new one out of the mess to do it all over again.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. The idea being each new clone would be stronger than the one before, thus covering millions of years of evolution in just a few decades.
That doesn't sound like science.
No, it doesn't.
Doesn't.
So after 30 straight years of baby murder, one of the clones finally survived the test. Amazed by his own success, Bertrand named this baby
The ultimate clock.
The ultimate baby.
But to the rest of the universe, he was their
Doomsday.
See, Wiz, reloading as it is, patenting my baby cannon was a good idea.
Successful as Bertrand's experiment was, it was anything but a good idea.
Yeah.
Turns out, while Doomsday usually appears to be a mindless beast, he remembered every single time Bertrand had him killed. As a result, Doomsday had been unintentionally programmed at a genetic level to hate everything that lives.
Bummer. Needless to say, Bertrand was pretty screwed.
Because even with 30 years of development, Bertrand had never quite figured out what to do if his experiment actually worked. Because Bertrand is the worst.
Drop the ball on that
he
one.
did do what he set out to do. He made an 8'10" monster that doesn't need to eat, breathe, or have internal organs to live. It just kills and kills and kills some more.
Doomsday possesses enormous strength, incredible durability, and poisonous spikes which can extend. But due to Bertrand's experiments, Doomsday's greatest power of all is his ability to adapt to his opponent's powers.
After taking his sweet revenge, Doomsday stowed away on a supply ship and ravaged dozens of planets until he finally found himself on Earth.
On that day, Doomsday did the unthinkable. On that day, Doomsday killed
Superman.
Well, kind of. He actually put him into a super sleep. After several days, he kind of woke up more powerful.
Yeah, we all know, Wiz. At least Stoops took Doomsday down with him. Or maybe not. Turns out, whenever Doomsday dies, he just comes back to life, forever immune to whatever killed him in the first place.
Yeah.
He's been punched to death by Superman, blasted apart by the Radiant's energy, brutally ripped in half, incinerated by Imperiex, and just curb stomped by a Kryptonian horde.
Practically invulnerable at this point, Doomsday's taken on Darkseid, tanking his Omega beams and beating him to near death. He single-handedly defeated most of the Justice League and took on an energy attack that wiped out a fifth of a planet.
He's punched through the Phantom Zone, battled super beings called Gogs for a century, and even broken Wonder Woman's arms. Arms strong enough to help pull the Earth.
And during his rematch with the Man of Steel, after witnessing Doomsday survive an explosion equivalent to 1 million nukes, Superman realized that the only way to stop him was to send him to the end of time.
At his most powerful, Doomsday's mere presence can boil the ocean and disintegrate buildings.
Wow.
A casual stroll across Africa made wildebeest an endangered species just by walking around. But what he's got in strength, he really lacks in brains.
Yeah.
Not that he's dumb, he just literally lacks a brain. More often than not, Doomsday is little more than a one-track mind-killing machine. This makes his intentions predictable, and a clever opponent could use this to, say, lead him into a trap. And should that foe come up with a new way to hurt Doomsday, he could be killed.
Still, that's gonna be pretty goddamn hard to do.
Yeah. Oh man, that movie.
All right, the combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
But first, Wiz won't stop talking about this thing, so he wants to tell you about it.
Okay, of course.
As a man of science, I analyze everything from the car I drive to the razor that shaves my face. I only use a razor I've scientifically proven to be of both quality and value. I use Harry's. Thanks to their factory in Germany, Harry's produces quality razors at half the price. Just $2 a blade. Harry's sleek 5-blade razor offers a softer flex hinge, trimmer blade, textured handle for control, and a lubricating strip to help soothe the skin. But if you're like me, you'll want to try it for yourself. Harry's is so confident in their razor, they'll send you a trial set absolutely free when you subscribe. Just pay $3 for shipping. And as a viewer of Death Battle, you can get a free bottle of post-shave balm, which soothes and relieves skin after shaving and helps reduce redness. Just enter the code DEATHBATTLE at checkout. So head on over to harrys.com by clicking the link in the description below and get your free trial set and post-shave balm. Just remember, use the code DEATHBATTLE at checkout.
Okay.
But right now, it's time for a death battle!
Let's do this! Oh my god. What the... Okay. Oh my god, wow. Oh! The color people! Okay. That's kind of weird.
Ugly cycles.
Oh, here we go. Oh. Oh, come on, Doomsday. Cars! Speckle Star's gonna love this. There you go. Oh! Damn!
Oh, thank you. Okay, spiky bear.
Thunderclap! Oh, shit! Oh, man, he's doing it. Holy shit! Damn! Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
You break buildings good, but Hulk break walls.
Oh no! Roadbreaker Hulk! Here we go. Oh, come on, Doomsday! Oh! Oh!
power
Wow.
and Doomsday's impossible immortality, this truly felt like a fight between an unstoppable force and an immovable object.
Yes.
Hulk may have had the advantage in raw strength, at least at his full potential, but Doomsday could certainly hold his ground. His victories against the likes of Superman and Darkseid prove he can take a hit from someone strong enough to break planets.
Yeah.
And by experience, Doomsday had the speed advantage. He regularly fights foes with light speed capabilities, while that kind of speed is an extreme rarity in the Marvel Universe. In fact, the only foe that fast who Hulk's ever seemed to keep pace with in a one-on-one match was Sentry. And
That's
that was
true.
when he was at his most powerful stage.
That's
World Breaker.
true.
So overall, Hulk has strength and Doomsday has speed, but neither completely outclassed the other. At first glance, this one looked like it could go either way.
Which means the devil's in the very tiny details.
So why couldn't the Hulk's infinite strength just keep rising and eventually overwhelm Doomsday?
Well, even assuming Hulk's strength was infinite, his healing factor was not. Don't get me wrong, it can only be overtaxed by hits from absurdly powerful beings such as Zeus or Sentry, whom Doomsday certainly compares.
Yeah.
Actually, Doomsday's crazy strength and speed started wearing that healing factor down.
Here's where it gets a bit tricky.
Okay.
The Hulk may look like a giant green monster, but he's still technically human, and his power directly correlates with his anger. A human being's anger stems from an increase in hormones and adrenaline in the body. However, the brain can only produce these chemicals at such a rate for a limited time,
Yeah.
eventually giving up and turning apathetic.
Oh.
Therefore, Hulk's limitless power could never have existed without his healing factor. It's the key. It allowed his body to continue producing hormones and adrenaline far beyond the norm, theoretically an endless supply, thus increasing his superhuman power to an immeasurable degree.
Yeah.
So, Doomsday overtaxing his healing factor meant the Hulk could no longer maintain his increasing rage and Hulk form.
And if you're still skeptical, that's why there's a bunch of times in comics when a huge impact forced the Hulk to turn back into Bruce Banner, including that battle between Worldbreaker Hulk and Sentry. With his healing power beaten down, he literally couldn't keep himself angry enough to stay in Hulk mode.
I love science, but there's still one more thing. Thanks to his battles with Superman and other Kryptonians, Doomsday has evolved to a point where it's basically impossible to kill him with brute force alone.
That's
So Hulk
true.
couldn't have killed him by just getting angry enough to punch harder than Doomsday ever felt.
Precisely. Here's the proof. Superman and Doomsday eventually had a rematch, in which Superman was much more powerful than their first battle. As we discussed before, Superman's power is also potentially limitless by way of continually absorbing solar energy.
Yes.
And at this point in his story, he'd begun to discover that.
But try as he might, despite his increased power, Supes couldn't kill Doomsday with blunt force a second time.
It's true.
Ultimately, Doomsday's immunity to being ripped, impaled, incinerated, blasted with energy, and being beaten by blunt force from both focused and multiple sources means Hulk just didn't have the options available to take Doomsday out before his healing factor was overtaxed.
That's true.
On this day, Hulk met his doom. Doomsday.
The winner is
Doomsday.
Next time on Death Battle.
Alright, what's next? Zoro? It's Kenshin. It's Zoro versus Kenshin. It's Zoro
Hey
versus
guys, I'm Ben,
Kenshin.
I play Wiz, this is Chatty Plays Boomstick,
Hi,
and next
guys.
up we've got Zoro from One Piece. Stick to our Twitter to find out who he's going to be fighting. Want to watch Death Battle on your big screen? First members can now download the Xbox One and Apple TV apps. It's great, but super important. We just launched a brand new video game. It's Super Rad Ray Gun. Link in the description. Click it. Check it out.
Okay. Guys, that was their best one yet. Now, it was a little weird. Is it me, or did Doomsday and Hulk fight on Color Planet? Because I like the... Never mind, it's okay. I understand why Tori couldn't add, full shady. It doesn't matter. There you go. They pretty much explained in every detail why the Hulk can't beat Doomsday, and... Again, guys, so you can't say, oh, if it was Worldbreaker Hulk, then... No, they used both regular Hulk and Worldbreaker Hulk. So, again, there is literally no proof what you can say that Hulk can beat Doomsday. Now, again, this isn't me saying, oh, Death Battle said so, and this is... No, there are different opinions, but I can buy this opinion, or this fact, because of how they really went into this. I don't think they've gone this well in detail to how a character could potentially win this fight 9 times out of 10 since, since Pokemon vs. Digimon, the Pokemon Battle Royale, and the first Goku vs. Superman, not counting the second one. So I really like how they explored every angle of how Doomsday potentially wins these matchups 9 times out of 10. There is that one possibility, but again, they pretty much declared that, okay, even if there is a possibility that Hulk can beat Doomsday, it's very few and far between, because how the hell is Hulk gonna kill Doomsday when he's virtually immortal and unkillable? And my friend and colleague, your only mate, suggested, why doesn't Hulk just throw Doomsday into the sun? Again, and I know you guys are going to state that too, that's still not going to do anything, because again, Doomsday is unkillable. He can just come back or just get out of the sun. So, yes, so there literally is still a 1% chance Hulk can beat Doomsday, but for now, it's Doomsday, and I'm glad I picked right, so at least I got one win back, so that's nice. I enjoyed this fight, oh my god. This was... I can't believe I'm saying this, but I actually think this is a lot better. I think this is better than Dante versus Bayonetta. I'm sorry, it's just my opinion. The way the fight played out, holy shit, and so much destruction, so many cars. I think Spectral Star will like that. Cars! I'm kidding. So, yes, guys, overall, that was my reaction to this kick-ass, wonderful fight. I'm gonna watch this a few more times, when it comes out tomorrow. So, yes, guys, overall, if you enjoyed this reaction to Hulk vs. Doomsday, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know down below what you thought of this fight, who you were going for, and please, guys, don't get civil, don't have a heated debate, or just, you know, pretty much just keep it standard. And again, I'm sorry if you guys, for all of you Hulk fans, I'm very sorry, but again, that's just how it is for Death Battle. So yes, but I still love the Hulk. The Hulk is arguably one of those great characters. So yes, guys, until then, this is Richard Core Kenobi saying, may the Force be with you. I'll see you later, guys.